Everyone has the right to a safe and steady home, and that benefits us all. I come with no other goal than to help those in need. It was supposed to be a happy royal day, a rare break from rules and formality. But by the end, a line was crossed. What started as innocent childhood teasing quickly turned into quiet outrage behind palace doors. Prince Louis, the playful, energetic youngest of the Wales family, left the garden in tears. This time, Prince William didn't just frown, he took action. So, what really happened? Why has Camilla's granddaughter been pushed out of the royal favor? Let's explain it all. A picnic that hid underlying politics. It was meant to be a joyful royal outing, blankets spread on Balmoral's perfect lawns. Kids played freely while corgis darted between cups and sandwiches. No speeches, no stiff rules, just family fun. Or so it seemed. King Charles organized the event to bring his family and Camilla's closer together. It was a good idea, but Kate, who always watches her children carefully, felt uneasy. She's polite and graceful, but when it comes to her children, especially Louis, she's quick to react. Prince Louis, the youngest and most lively of the Wales kids, was having a great time. Bright eyes, full of energy, he wandered through the games with confidence. His happy giggles filled the day. Camilla made sure her grandchildren were there too. Although they aren't royal by blood or title, their appearances at events caught people's attention. Some saw her trying to blend her family into the royal world, and this picnic seemed like another step toward that goal. At first, everything looked easy and fun. Children ran and played while parents talked, and nannies shared gossip over elderflower drinks. Then, everything shifted. Kate's posture straightened, her smile faded, and her eyes locked onto Louis. He stood frozen, face flushed, but unreadable. Across from him was one of Camilla's granddaughters. No more giggles or games, just a tense moment, sharp enough to cut through the summer air. It was unclear what had been said, but something had clearly gone wrong. That kind of wrong that mothers notice right away. Kate started walking, calm but alert. This gathering was no longer just a picnic. It had become a mirror reflecting deeper divides. Two families, one upset, children caught in the middle. As Louis's usual spark dimmed, Kate understood this wasn't just innocent teasing. It was the start of something much more serious. What happened next, though, was fast and quiet, slipping past many adults before anyone noticed. A harsh comment and a fading smile. Louis had always been lively, the youngest royal who made serious events seem lighter. During Trooping the Color, he had yawned mid-parade. Once, on the palace balcony, he covered his ears and yelled during a fly-past, stealing the spotlight. Beneath his cheeky grin was a boy very close to his family, especially his mother, Kate. He loved her, and what happened that day pierced that bond. While the grown-ups enjoyed tea and small talk under the marquee, the children split into smaller groups. One ran around playing football. Another had a pretend tea party with toy cups and muddy sandwiches. Louis moved from group to group, eventually ending up alone near the rose garden. That's when Camilla's granddaughter stepped forward. It's unclear what sparked the fight. Some say it started with a snide laugh. Others think it was Louis's playful attempt at a royal curtsy, something he did once as a joke to mimic his mother. But what is clear, according to many insiders, is that the moment turned mean fast. "Do you really think your mom will be queen?" The girl sneered loudly enough for nearby children to hear. "She's just pretending. Everyone knows Camilla is the real one." Louis blinked, confused at first. Then he looked hurt. His hands dropped to his sides. He stared at his shoes, the warmth on his face beginning to fade. Before he could say anything, she struck again, aiming at something even more personal. "And what's with the way you walk? Is that your prince training? Do you think you're better than everyone because you live in a castle?" Witnesses say Louis Wiss's face shifted from confusion to pain. Red tint returned to his cheeks. His bright eyes, full of mischief, started to water. Someone later said he looked crushed, not because her words were cruel, but because he never expected to hear them from someone who should be family. One child giggled, another looked away awkwardly. No one stepped in. Trembling, Louis did what any 6-year-old would do. He ran straight to the garden's edge, where Kate stood quietly with Charlotte. Before Kate could react, Louis threw himself into her arms, crying. His small body shook as she held him tight, her hand gently supporting the back of his head. Kate knew what had happened. The look on Louis's face told her everything. His confidence, his sunshine had been stolen. In its place was a child who felt mocked, misunderstood, and unsafe. The scene stunned those nearby. A hush fell over the group. Even the corgis, who had been happily chasing shadows moments before, stood still. Camilla, a few yards away, saw what was happening but made no move. It's unclear whether she didn't understand how serious it was, or if she chose to ignore it. One thing is clear. Kate saw everything. She held Louis close, her expression unreadable. But inside, something snapped. Not with panic or tears, but with a deep, quiet anger only a mother can feel. A feeling that waits, watches, and remembers. This wasn't just innocent teasing. It was planned, deliberate, and filled with words too grown up for a child. Kate looked across the garden. Her eyes found William. In that moment, everything changed in an instant. Kate's quiet storm. Kate Middleton is known for her calm nature and grace under pressure. She can smile through scandal and stay strong in royal storms. But no training or good manners could prepare her for what she felt when Louis suddenly collapsed into her arms. His face was red with shame and sadness. To outside eyes, she still looked composed. She gently brushed his hair and softly whispered something into his ear. But anyone who has seen a mother protect her child would see the fierce look in her eyes. Behind her calm exterior, a storm was waiting. Cold and controlled, she was powerful. She didn't make a fuss. There were no loud arguments or angry words in public. Quietly, she stood up, took Louis's hand, and signaled for Charlotte. The three of them walked back to the palace, each step steady, each move deliberate. It was clear she wasn't backing down. She was shifting, thinking carefully. Camilla watched them go, but didn't move. Maybe she didn't understand what just happened, or maybe she thought it was just gossip and would blow over soon. Children often fight, right? Not this time. Once inside, Kate took Louis to a small private room away from the busy staff. She knelt down to his level, her hands on his shoulders, eyes locked on his. "Tell me exactly what happened," she said softly. Louis hesitated at first, then began to speak. He talked about teasing, comments on his manners, mocking his walk, and cruel words about his mother not being a real queen. Then he whispered something unexpected, another insult from Camilla's granddaughter. "At least my granny didn't die because of the crown," she said quietly. Kate's eyes turned cold at these words. This wasn't just childish teasing. It was something darker. The act was planned. It was personal. Most troubling, it came from somewhere or someone. No child talks that way without hearing it at home. That detail kept replaying in Kate's mind. Her son wasn't just hurt by a cousin's teasing. He had been scarred by a legacy, by whispers and rumors passed down like family recipes. Diana's memory was being used as a punchline. Louis, too young to grasp its full weight, still felt its sting. Kate didn't cry or yell, but she felt the shift in the room's air. Within an hour, she called her private secretary. Her instructions were clear. Reschedule everything. No engagements, no school runs, no charity events, no ribbon cuttings. She would stay with Louis. But she also needed to talk to William immediately. Later that evening, William arrived at Adelaide Cottage. Kate met him at the door, her face pale but steady. She took him inside, where Louis was already in bed. The discussion that followed, according to a source, was the most emotional they'd had in years. Kate opened up completely. She recounted everything Louis said, every look of pain, every tear. She didn't hold back. "You're the heir," she told him. "It's time to act like it." She reminded him of how the family protects its own. She said she wouldn't let this go. If William didn't act, she would. She spoke of Diana and how silence had cost her. She pointed out how the institution had failed her and warned history might repeat itself if they didn't set boundaries. It wasn't about revenge. It was about respecting everyone and ending the favoritism Camilla had created in royal life. William didn't say much at first. He just listened, but his face told everything. By the time he left, the quiet tears and tension had sparked a royal turning point. What move did William make after Louis's tears sparked this change? Stay tuned. William faced many pressures: public scrutiny, royal expectations, the weight of his father's reign, and his mother's tragedy. Nothing affected him more than seeing his youngest child hurt. Louis wasn't just injured. He was embarrassed, and that changed everything. After Kate described the incident in disturbing detail, even mentioning Diana's memory, William sat in silence for a long time. His hands were folded, his gaze fixed on the floor. Kate had said everything there was to say. There was nothing left to explain. All that was left now was a choice. He wasn't just a future king anymore. He was a father, and this moment called for more than diplomacy. The next morning, as the palace handled its usual busy schedule, William quietly called his top aides into a private room at Kensington Palace. No media alerts or crowd noise, just the sound of doors closing and quiet footsteps. Inside, he shared his thoughts calmly and directly, but with firm resolve. He started with the incident involving Prince Louis, saying there would be repercussions. He wasn't seeking apologies or a carefully worded statement. What he wanted was clear: accountability and distance, effective immediately. The girl who insulted Louis would no longer be invited to royal events where his children were present. No holiday invitations. This one should be fine. I got a little emotional when I recorded it, because the venue is just incredible. No charity appearances, no symbolic walks with Charlotte and George. Her quiet place in the royal circle had come to an end. Then came the decision that shook things up the most. Any plans for honors, titles, or perks for Camilla's granddaughter were now off the table. The aides were stunned, not because they disagreed, but because William no longer asked for their opinions. He was making choices like a true leader, like a protector, like a father who had drawn a line. This was not just about a playground insult, It was a clear message to the entire monarchy. True legacy doesn't come from a title or name. It comes from how you act, your honor and loyalty. This wasn't a request. It was a firm statement. For the first time in years, William wasn't waiting for the crown's order. He stood in front of it. Whether the monarchy liked it or not, the power shift in the royal family was happening. But what exactly did William do to change it forever? Keep your eyes glued to the screen. The future of a royal family was suddenly taken away. Within 24 hours, tension spread through the palace like an unseen quake. No press releases or official statements were made, but those in the know felt the shake and understood how serious it was. By noon, William's decision was quietly shared with key royal departments. Camilla's granddaughter, once quietly groomed for small royal appearances and subtle titles, was now removed from all future plans involving the royal family's next generation. No more pageant roles, no invitations to troop parades, no mentions in official schedules. For the royal family, she was cut out completely. Camilla had spent years slowly bringing her family into the limelight. Her grandchildren, not born royal, had marched in coronation processions, appeared in big photos, and joined private palace events. It wasn't official, but it was a careful plan to bring them closer to the throne. William saw through it all. Now, after a harsh incident that upset Louis, he wasn't just opening the curtain, he was closing the door. The girl who had made Louis cry was forbidden from seeing him or his siblings again. Not at birthdays, not during holidays, not even in staged photos. This wasn't a punishment. It was a warning that royal favor can't be given by connection alone. It comes from honesty and respect. And most surprising of all, William didn't ask the king for permission. This stunned even the top palace staff. For years, the rule was that Charles had to approve big family decisions. But this time, William acted first and told the king afterward. To William, this wasn't about tradition. It was about a child. He didn't want half-hearted apologies or careful excuses. One aide said later, William didn't want an apology. He wanted space. He wanted peace for his children. By the time Charles read the note, the decision was already made. Camilla's granddaughter's quiet future with the royal family was gone. It ended without fuss, without a fight, and without a word to the press. Camilla's breakdown and Charles's silence marked it all. The letter arrived at Clarence House early one morning, delivered by a royal courier with a serious face. Camilla sat in her quiet room, holding a half-finished cup of tea. She took the letter without saying a word, but as she read William's message, her hands started to shake. Her granddaughter was cut off. Her family's slow, careful transition into royal life was shattered. The honorary title she had quietly fought for disappeared. At first, she couldn't believe it. She snapped at an aide, insisting it was a mistake. Charles would never allow this, she thought. But it wasn't a mistake. It was done on purpose, with no ask for permission, only a notice. William hadn't sought approval. He acted on his own. Anger replaced her confusion. Camilla stormed through the halls of Clarence House, demanding answers from staff, questioning their loyalty, and protesting what she called a clear personal attack. Her voice echoed loudly, breaking her usual calm. Then she didn't hesitate. She went straight to the king's study, a letter clutched tightly, demanding Charles step in. "He's your son," she yelled, "but this crosses the line. It's punishment, not protocol." Charles, tired and visibly strained, stayed silent. He didn't defend William. His reply was quiet but firm. "I won't overrule him," he said. No anger, no coldness, just the weight of understanding. William had chosen sides, not just as a father, but as the future king. Charles was stuck between his wife and his heir. He chose to stay silent. "I've been trying to keep quiet about reaching 75 years old. For Camilla, it felt like betrayal. After years standing beside Charles through scandals and tough times, she felt alone now. Her family was pushed into the background. She fought hard to escape that life, and she also suspected Kate was behind everything. In her eyes, William might have been protecting his son, but Kate was drawing lines in the sand. Camilla believed she had already crossed them. That night, Camilla canceled her plans for a charity event, claiming she was too tired. But inside the palace, whispers started to spread. The queen consort's influence was slipping away. A new era had begun. No crown, no speech, just a father defending his son. What did the public and media say after William's bold move became known? Stay tuned. The people are already taking sides. The royal family keeps their plans quiet, but the public does not. Within hours of William's silent choice, the news started to leak. It first spread through royal insiders and unknown sources. Soon, headlines blared and social media buzzed non-stop. Rumors of Prince Louis facing bullying, William banning Camilla's granddaughter from royal duties, and a royal split flooded the news. The Queen's family was also criticized after an incident in the garden. Tabloid stories grew more intense. But unlike past royal scandals, this story felt different. It wasn't about power struggles, scandals, or breaking rules. It centered on a child, and the public knew exactly where they stood. Hashtags appeared rapidly online with tags like number Protect Louis, number Not Your Queen, and number William Was Right. Support poured in from all sides. Music played as parenting bloggers praised William for prioritizing his son's safety over appearances. Teachers discussed how early bullying can leave deep scars. Mental health advocates cheered Kate for calmly and firmly taking a stand without seeking media sympathy. One viral tweet summed it up perfectly. Prince Louis, the youngest, showed the monarchy what real strength looks like. Both William and Kate earned praise. As the support grew, old memories of Diana returned. Many remembered how she protected her sons from the strict rules of palace life. Now, her son seemed to do the same, but in a more private way. Not with open defiance, but with quiet decisions. Artists shared pictures of Louis standing tall, a small gold crown on his head. Others posted side-by-side photos of Diana with William as a child and Kate holding Louis. The message was clear. The future of the monarchy was being written again, with firm boundaries this time. Then criticism of Camilla started to grow. Public opinion, which had slowly warmed to her, cooled off quickly. Memes appeared mocking her as out of touch or opportunistic. Polls showed her popularity dropping fast. Support for William and Kate soared. Her silence or refusal to accept responsibility was seen as arrogance, not restraint. Even among royal staff, loyalty shifted. Some aides quietly asked to transfer to Kensington Palace. Media outlets that once hesitated to criticize Camilla now openly questioned her role in the royal family. The most telling moment came on an evening when the public was quiet. William, Kate, George, Charlotte, and Louis stepped out of their car for a church service. As they walked, the crowd lining their path clapped softly. Their applause was quiet but genuine, showing support and agreement. Louis looked up, a bit unsure. Kate leaned down and whispered something only he could hear. The message in the moment was clear. The monarchy isn't just adapting to change, it's choosing to do so. Camilla quietly pulled back from public life in the days after. Officially, it was said she was tired and needed rest, but insiders shared a different story. She was hurt, not physically, but in her pride. Once confident about her influence, she now felt on the outside. The public's sympathy faded away. Longtime staff distanced themselves. Media friends stayed silent. Invitations stopped coming, and events were canceled quietly. Her years-long plan to shape her family's place in the royal story suddenly fell apart. Yet she kept smiling when necessary for cameras. Close friends say she never fully forgave William or Kate. Inside the palace, it was clear. Camilla lost her standing not to scandal, but to principles. The queen consort had fallen behind in the court of public opinion. What do you think? Did Prince William go too far? Or was this the brave step the monarchy needed? Share your thoughts in the comments. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more royal stories that haven't been told.